Let's talk about this boy who we shall just call this boy. This story starts in 2018, when he was just a teen, a quiet, lonely kid spending most of his time in his room, lost in the pixelated world of Overwatch on his PlayStation 4. His life was what you'd expect: wake up, school, and immediately log on to the PlayStation 4. His game was Overwatch, and he was serious about the grind. Now, this wasn't unusual. Gaming was his escape. But one night came, and something different happened. He met someone. A girl. Let's call her Girl A. Girl A wasn't just your regular gamer girl stereotype. She was, in his own words, a solid 10 out of 10. Smart, funny, stunning. The kind of person that made his teenage heart skip beats every time her name popped up on the screen. And somehow, through that chaos of online lobbies and random matchmaking, they clicked. Every day after that, it became routine. Wake up, check his phone, text Girl A, good morning, and wait for that reply. That one simple reply that made everything in his lonely little world feel right. To understand the kid, you have to know his background. He admits he grew up lonely. He had older brothers, which made his home feel like he had 3 dads. He was too shy to socialize. He recounts that no girl had ever shown interest in him in all of his life in this beautiful world. And this, of course, gave him a big issue. He was addicted to adult content, watching it every single day, trying to fill the void inside him. But when Girl A came along, you have to understand that to him, this wasn't just a crush, as he claims it was like a warm light in a cold room. He was happy, they'd text all the time, and his addiction, it faded. It went from multiple times a day down to maybe once a week, an insane improvement for him. Well, yeah, with Girl A in his life, he didn't need fake affection. He had something real. Congrats to him. Now here is the twist. The universe gave him a punchline. She lived only 15 minutes away. Their connection deepened, and she asked him to see a movie. Ready Player One. He was nervous, of course, but he said yes. It was going to be his first real date. He was excited and over the moon. At this point, everything seemed to be lining up until it didn't. Until a few days before the date, he made a mistake that he should have avoided only if he could see the future. He was in a chat with his gaming buddies. When he told them he was meeting Girl A, they immediately hit him with the venom. They told him she was a bad person, a snake they called her, and the kid, bless his naive little heart, believed them. Because of what a few keyboard warriors said, he started treating her terribly, ghosting her, ignoring her, acting like a complete jerk. Eventually, she'd had enough and told him to F off. They stopped speaking. The kid was too immature to realize the monumental mistake he'd made. He didn't realize the weight of what he'd lost until a month later, when the old habits came back worse than ever, as the real connection he shared with Girl A vanished. His addiction didn't just double, it tripled, it quadrupled. He was watching content multiple times a day, trying to find a substitute for the emotional connection he threw away. Fast forward to 3 years later, he has now finished high school, but still the exact same person, a boy on the inside. Still addicted, still lonely, still that same lost kid. He'd mostly forgotten about Girl A, until one day while playing a video game, he gets nostalgic. He decides, and this is mistake number 2, to scroll through his old DMs with Girl A, and reading those old messages hit him harder than any boss fight ever could. He realized he'd thrown away something genuine, something pure. But instead of learning from it, he spiraled deeper, more isolation, more escapism. He convinced himself he'd just wait for the perfect girl to come to him. But let's be real, he wasn't improving himself. He was indulging so much that he admits his body started to hurt. He was doing it 3 or 4 times a day, trying to find a high that wasn't there. This is where things go from sad to genuinely alarming. One day, the universe decided to hit him with a cruel trick. The kid was about to walk his dog, his only exercise. Beep, a notification, a new follower request on Instagram, an attractive Asian girl's name. He was shocked. A girl followed him. They had no mutuals, no red flags, but the kid, still a naive boy, accepted her request. She messages him, "Hey, I'm so sorry to follow you out of nowhere, but I just thought you were really handsome." That one line, that was all it took to hook him. They started talking, texting all day, every day. She's sweet, she listens, she's funny. And guess what? She says she's from his city. He couldn't believe it. Another miracle. And just like before, the addiction faded. The intimacy, even if it was digital, made him feel alive again. Everything's going perfectly, until he decides to ask her on a date. He asks to see a movie. She ignores the question. Instead, she sends a text. "I'm feeling a little bit weird right now." He asks what's up. She replies, "I'm horny." The lust explosion hit the kid immediately. He forgot he even asked her out. He responds, "Me too." Then, she sends the next message. Let's video call. The kid races into his room, locks the door, and closes the windows. He's nervous, excited, and filled with lust. Know if you have been following this story since the beginning, drop a like, comment, and subscribe, because it's about to go down. Now this girl called, the kid answered, he says she was cute, they talk for a bit, the conversation's awkward. He soon realized she's not great at English, but before he can even ask about it, she starts doing things. And in that moment, logic leaves the room. He's not thinking, he's just reacting. He admits he had the hardest hard-on of his life. Then she drops the line, "Take off your pants and show me your D.I." In the kid's mind, this was the greatest intimacy he'd ever experienced. He was a virgin. He was so turned on that he couldn't think straight, and he did the worst thing. He pulled down his pants and started stroking himself on camera. He says he was enjoying the moment. It lasted all of 10 seconds. Then she ended the call. The kid was confused and ashamed. He told himself, "It'll be fine. She probably just had to go." 2 minutes later, he got a text. When he read it, he says his heart didn't just drop to the floor. It dropped to HELL. She recorded the entire thing. Face, body, everything. She had a video of his face and what he was doing, and it got worse. She sent a photo of his Facebook account, showing all his friends and family members. Her message was clear: "If you don't send me $200 right now, I'm sending this to your whole family and friends." The kid was terrified. He realized he was being sex-torted. He knew the danger. Paying them doesn't stop it. It just encourages them to ask for more. He was alone, scared, and without his own money. So, what did the kid do? He snuck into his mother's room, went into her purse, and got her credit card. She told him to pay through a foreign money transfer service, confirming she was part of a professional scam. He entered the details, and with his mind completely fried, he pressed, "Send $200. Here's the one bit of luck in this whole mess. An error came up. The payment failed. She didn't believe him and demanded the money. The kid decided to take the risk. He blocked her, deactivated his Facebook account, and prayed. He went to sleep that night, convinced he would wake up to a catastrophe. The next day, nothing. His family seemed normal. He went back to the PlayStation, trying to forget. Until that night, his mom walked into the room with the most disgusted look on her face. Instantly, the kid knew. The video had been sent. His mother was furious, followed by his 2 older brothers, who called and scolded him. The shame was immense. He was just waiting for his dad to come in, thinking his life was over. But after an hour of explaining what happened, the kid's family, his brothers and mother, were surprisingly supportive. They yelled at him, sure, but they helped him. They decided to keep it a secret from his father. He later found out the video was sent to his auntie and some of his cousins. He says he still doesn't know how many people saw that video. The kid learned his lesson the hardest way possible. His life nearly got ruined because he was too lustful, chasing a digital fantasy instead of real connection. The kid by this time now, a young man, admits the incident wasn't an instant cure for his addiction. That's not how it works. But 2 years later, he finally decided to battle the demon. He worked on himself. He developed himself, focusing on his self-worth. He says he transitioned from a boy to a bit more of a man. And as he started loving himself more, the impulse naturally started to fade. He says he is now free from the habit. His final message is directed to anyone struggling with the same issue or any form of addiction. If a person who went through the most shameful moment of his life can fight this demon, you can too.